السلام عليكم. كل عام وأنتم بخير. As a result of investigating the external and internal environmental factors, we have to conduct the evaluation process of the strategic situations using different techniques, and the most common one of them is SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, as we know, each letter stands for some meanings. S for strengths and W for weaknesses, and both of them are concluded from the internal environmental factors. O for opportunities, T for threats, and both are concluded from the external environmental factors. These four categories are called the strategic factors for some specific company or organization through some specific period of time. From the internal environment, as we mentioned, all the key expected factors that will affect the organization's operations or performance within the coming long-term period are classified according to their impact into positive factors and negative factors. The positive factors are called strength points and the negative factors are called weakness points. The same will be done for the external environmental factors. All the key expected factors that will affect the organization's performance within the long-term period we are planning for are classified according to their impact on the organization into positive and negative factors. Positives are called opportunities and negative factors are called threats. Strength, any factor the organization will use to gain some strategic advantage. The weakness, any limitation or constraint that creates some strategic disadvantage for the organization. Opportunity, some favorable condition in the organization external environment that can help to strengthen the position of the organization, and the opposite is for the threat. It is unfavorable situation which creates some risk or cause some damage for the coming to the exercise or the problem that we have to solve. You are given some specific strategic factors for some specific manufacturing organization, and according to SWOT, you are required to classify each of the given strategic factors or variables, and then concluding about the organization's strategic situation, as we will see. For each factor or variable, these are the key strategic factors for a manufacturing organization. It's okay. You will be given the factor and some numerical values related to its impact on the organization future performance as a score out of 100. For example, the first variable has a score of 80 out of 100 as means important for its impact on the organization. You will be given also its probability or some degree of certainty of occurrence for such a variable, 0.65. Okay, we will keep these values to some later times and see what we can use in the calculation. The variable. The first now we have to practice how to classify each variable according to SWOT, strength or weakness, opportunities or threats. Recruiting a distinctive marketing or production manager or any manager for the organization. The classification process can be done in two levels. Firstly, we have to find out if this factor is directly related to such an organization we are evaluating its strategic situation. Is it related to this organization only, or it is common and will affect all other organizations, even the competitors? Okay, so recruiting some kind of managers for such an organization, it is a direct factor, which means related to its internal environment, because it's closely related only to this organization. So it's classified as internal environment. Then, according to its impact, if it has a positive impact, it will be strength point. If it has negative impact on the organization performance, it will be weakness point. So recruiting a distinctive marketing manager will be considered as a positive, firstly internal and positive impact. So it will be classified as strength point. Coming to new legislations or law for environmental protection. Since we talk about some laws related to protecting the environment, so this factor is common to all organizations, not only our exact organization, but this organization and even the competitors. So it's considered as external environmental factor. We are not evaluating the factor as its advantage for the society. It's good for society or not good for society, but we are evaluating the factor in terms of our specific organization. So based on this organization having some laws to protect the environment means enforcing the organization to make some protection, to establish some facilities, having some filters, redesigning its process, which means some kind of constraint imposed on the organization. So firstly, so as we mentioned, we have to classify according to two stages. The first stage, is it internal or external? External, because it will affect our organization and the other organizations. So it is external factor based on its impact on our organization. It will represent a constraint, so it will have a negative impact. So it is considered as threat. Threat. Coming to having good reputation with distribution organizations or with banks or with suppliers or with any other entity. Having good reputation, it's personal factor related to our internal environmental factor of our organization. So it is internal. Since it is good reputation or good relationship, so it will have a positive impact, so it is internal and positive will be strength point. Having a weak reputation or a bad reputation or weak relationship the other way, internal negative impact will be weakness point. Utilization rate of our capacities up to 95%. It's a high percentage, which means our capacities. So we talk about internal environment. Since the ratio is high, so it will be, or it will represent a strength point. If this ratio is less than about 50%, it will be considered internal and negative impact, since more than 50% of our capacities will not be used or will be idle, which means about 40%, 45%. This means that internal and negative impact, so it will be weakness point. But in our case, having 90%, 95% will be considered as internal and positive, so it is strength. It will be classified as strength point. Having one competitor or two competitors entering the domestic market, it's not internal. It is something will affect our organization and the other competitors. So it will be external environment. External. What about its impact on our organization? More competitors mean more competition means negative impact. So it is external and negative. It's considered as threat. Threat. New governmental facilitations. The government will afford some new offers for our organization and the other organizations, which means external environment, positive impact, so it is opportunity. External and positive will be opportunity. Strong union for the organization's workers. Since the union is related to our organization's workers only, so it is internal environment. Coming to its impact, the main purpose of the organization's union is to protect the interest of its workers against the decisions of the management of the organization, which means it may cause a headache for the management of the organization. So it is internal environment, and regarding its impact, it will be negative. It causes some resistance for the organization's management decisions. So it is negative impact for internal factor. So it is weakness point. Expensive technological change. Technological change will affect all the organizations within the industry, so it is external. Since it is expensive, so it will have a negative impact on the organization because it has extra cost. So this means external and negative, it will be threat. Producing very popular brand name. We are talking about the organizations or our organization's product brand name. So it is something related to our organization, internal environment. Since they are producing popular or known product or brand name, so it is internal and positive impact. Strength point. A competitor launches new product. It is something related to the industry, to competitors, so it will affect all organizations, so it is external, and since it increases or it means increasing the competition, so it is external and negative, so it is threat. As we observing, there is no relationship or there is no specific rule having some specific number of strength and specific number of weakness, opportunities, and specific number of threats. No, as the way it comes. Increasing in materials or increase in materials prices. Since we have an increase in prices, so it is in the market of the industry. So it is external factor. Any increase in the costs or prices of any of the production requirements items, this means extra costs for the organization, so it has a negative impact. So it is considered as external and negative, so it is threat. The same way for any increase in prices of technology, of materials, of salaries in the industry or advertising campaigns, any increase in prices of any of the production requirements is considered a threat. Our branches are spread all over the country. We talk about the branches of our specific organization, so it is internal factor. Since its spread is located all over the country, so it will have a positive impact. So it is internal and positive strength point. Increase in consumers' claims or complaints. Which consumers? The specific organization's consumers. So it is internal factor related to our specific organization. So it is internal. Increasing number or percentage of claims will have negative impact. So internal and negative weakness point. The opposite, if we talk about decrease in consumers' claims or complaints, it is internal and positive impact, so strength point. So the increase in the claims is considered as weakness point. Suppliers provide new material alternative. Suppliers providing material for all the organizations within the industry. So it is external factor. What about its impact? New alternative means positive impact. So external and positive, it is opportunity. An increase in prices of advertising campaigns means increasing the cost, so it is external and negative, so it will be considered as threat. Coming to this factor, new taxes. If we talk about new taxes on any of the processes of the organizations, any of the production requirements, which means increasing the cost for the organization, it will be considered as external and negative, so it is threat. This is not the case. having new taxes on the imported finished product. Since, as we mentioned, we have strategic factors for a manufacturing organization, so this means that they are not importing finished products. So what kind of relationship of this finished product to our organization? The finished product imported from abroad is considered as a competitor product. Okay, competitor product means if we or the government impose new taxes, this means they will add more to its prices. They will increase its prices against our products, which means it is external factor and positive impact opportunity. So having new taxes that will increase the price of the competitor's product means opportunity. The other way, reducing the taxes on the imported finished product means decreasing its price, which means having an advantage for our product or opportunity, external and positive opportunity. Now, we have classified each of these factors. What do we have to do? In a table, we will have O and T, opportunities, threats from the external environment, weakness and strength from the internal environment. All the factors related to, we can start with S, all the factors are listed here. Its impact, score out of 100, and its probability. We want to evaluate each factor not in terms of its impact only, nor in terms of its probability of occurrence only, but regarding its probable impact. Probable impact. We have the impact and probability. So when we talk about probable impact means multiplying probability times its impact. So all we have to do is for each factor, after classifying it according to S, W, O or T, we have to multiply its score of impact times its probability. The same for the second, third, fourth, whatever the number of factors under each category. And then add up the total of or the sum of the probable impacts. Okay, for opportunities, the same for all the factors under category of threats. Multiply for each factor its impact times its probability to get the probable impact. Add up and get the sum of all the threats. Opportunities and threats are related to external environment. Now, regarding the external environment, which category has higher probable impact value? Is it opportunity or threats? Assuming that the opportunities have higher value or higher probable value. This means that as a conclusion from the external environment, we can recognize that the organization facing opportunities because it has a higher probable value than the probable value of its threats. Okay, it's a probability times impact to get the probable impact, adding up to get the sum of all the strength points and adding up to get the sum of all the weakness points, and then compare which value is higher, the strength points or the weakness points, to conclude that from the internal environment, the organization has assumed that the strength points are or have higher value. The organization has strength points. Okay. From the previous analysis, we can conclude that the general result saying that the company is from the external facing what? Opportunities or threats? Which one of them has the higher value? Put it facing, for example, opportunity. What if the threats have higher probable value? So the organization is facing threats. And from the internal environment, the organization has. Which one has higher value? Strength points or weakness points? Assuming that the strength points have higher value, so we say that the organization has strength points. We have some other side effects. The company is facing three main opportunities. They are, and we can list the most important opportunities that they have the highest probable values, because based on them the organization is going to select some specific strategy to handle such situation. And from the external environment the organization is facing, maybe two, maybe one, we select the highest probable values. It may be one and the rest are very low, maybe two, maybe three. By chance they came three the same. The company has the main strength points, they are main weakness point, and they are, so we list the most important opportunities, the most important threats, the most important strength points, and the most important weakness, to have a matrix based on these most important factors. The organization is going to select its future strategy. Thank you. Salam alaikum.